What is going on, everybody? It is another episode of the Betting on the Rocks podcast on the GTD Sports Network. I am, of course, your host, Zach Rieger. Oh, man. It's October 18th, 2021. It's Monday night. It's a new week. It's a new week. It's a new week. Just gonna keep saying that. It is a new week, and man, I am struggling right now. This is you know, with this betting on the rocks, obviously I got this, a Jack and Coke, or actually technically, if you want to be technical, uh Jim and Pepsi. Yep, that's what I found in the cabinet, so that's why I went with. While we're doing sports betting and having fun talking sports, I also, try to switch it up. Whiskey gets this connotation where it's, not the best. A lot of times it's a sad drink. You don't want to drink when you're happy. Well, I enjoy it at all times. This is one of those episodes, one of those days. I might just playing the stereotype a little bit, playing it just a little bit. Where yep, just playing it a little too much. It's been tough. It's been brutal. I've talked about on other episodes how spooky it has been, how spooky this October has been, and I apologize. I'm just tweeting it out, just tweeting out my sorrows. October just keeps getting spookier. College, all in all, not too bad. 4-5 again, back to back 4-5 weeks. That's just kind of sad. Still up near 60% on the year. So, trending slowly in the wrong direction, but all in all, doing okay. NFL, whew, solid 1-5 yesterday in a day full of favorites. I was a dog better. Liked a lot of dogs. Patriots, that one hurt. That should have covered. The rest, it was weird. There weren't a whole lot of close games. It was, I know that first witching hour on Red Zone was, not a whole lot was going on. We had Panthers, Vikings, but that wasn't even early witching hour. Once the witching hour started, it was a game still, but it wasn't like, okay, we're on the edge of our seats. Ended up turning into a very good game, fun to watch. But yeah, for the most part, not a lot. And yeah, but anyways, before we truly dive into this episode, be sure to follow me on social media. You see it on the screen. I'll go ahead and put in this ticker right here. Ooh, looking nice at Zach Rieger 18, ZACHREGER 18. For those of you listening, you can follow at Betting on the Rocks, or the Betting on the Rocks podcast page at Betting Rocks Pod, and of course our the network we are on at GTD_sports, the Going the Distance Sports Network. A lot of fun. Check out the blog, gtdsports.com, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everything. TikTok's going off. There's some great content on TikTok. Be sure to go check that out. And if you wanna, laugh, maybe you need to see some laughs. Get some of that going. Check out my action page. If this was 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, yeah, pretty much right before I started, rebooting season 2. Yeah, just about that. Oh man, you will have been like, oh, this dude's killing it. This dude's at like 70% over the last month. Well, that has changed. Things even out, and that's just how it is. So, the Sad Boy Hours playlist has been cooking this past couple days. Has been cooking, but my Tennessee Titans, to save me, because of course, my team hasn't played yet. My Tennessee Titans, they're playing Monday night. Sweet primetime game. I get to, watch them. All my attention, all my focus on them. It's a home game. It's great. Who are we going to play? You might ask. We are already down. It's probably going to be, nobody. Should be a nice, easy matchup. Well, the Buffalo Bills are coming to town. the best team in the league, the hottest team in the league. Yes, I know the Cardinals are undefeated, deserve a ton of credit. But the Bills, they've just been blowing out everyone. 38-20 last week against the Chiefs. Yep. It's going to be a whiskey night. That's why I guess we're betting on the rocks. Trying to change that, negative stereotype where you only drink it when you're sad, but, it is what it is. Oh, man. I try to switch it up every now and then, a little bit. But all right. Let's get into a little weekend recap. Let's get into it a little bit. Here we go. I kind of mentioned it earlier, kind of prefaced it. Favorites. What is going on? This was some of the tweets I saw. Sports books were shaking. They were murdered. But I'm switching it. I was talking about how sad I was going 1-5. I'm a good person. I know sports books were having a bad weekend, so obviously they need to get some money. So of course I decided to take that upon myself and go 1-5. That definitely not because of what I thought was going to happen. I was just trying to be a good guy. It'll pay off in the long run, I'm sure. But, oh man, 1-5. It was brutal. Everything just kept going. I actually had a couple favorites, but that didn't really matter. Ravens was my only win. That was a smash. There was a time like I had 3 noon slate games going, and I didn't even care. Ravens were winning so much. That was such a high moral victory that I was like, you know what? We're doing all right. But yeah, Detroit, that was something. That was a big old letdown. No Detroit this week. It's a big number. It's a very big number against the Rams, but nope, no Detroit this week. Back-to-back weeks. Done. Texans, loved that play. Davis Mills, man. Mills Mafia. Shout out, pardon my take and seen that a bunch on Twitter, but still love it. Oh, Mills Mafia. Davis Mills, man. What are you doing? So many picks, so many plays. They drive a little bit, and it was just ridiculous, unheard of. Browns, I had too many Cardinals fantasy players that one. I just kind of gave up. Broncos hurt. Patriots should have covered so much. What are the Patriots doing on offense? What are they doing? They against a team and offense like the Cowboys that can score that quickly. What are you doing playing conservative? Oh, let's punt on 4th and short. Like what? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't understand how you just do all that punting and then, let's do a halfback dive with our receiving back. Like Damian Harris was going off. Damian Harris was playing great. He was doing awesome on my fantasy bench, but we don't have to talk about that. Yeah, when wasn't the best fantasy week for me either. Oh no, it's a new week. It's Monday. It is a new week. We love that. Okay. So yeah, NFL. That was kind of a recap there. A lot of blowouts. I kind of mentioned that as well earlier. The witching hour wasn't a whole lot. Afternoon games, it was pretty entertaining. At least with the Cowboys Patriots, that was a really good game. Looking back, I mean, seems like Pats plus 3.5 was the right play. It's kind of hard to say that because the Cowboys did turn the ball over in the red zone a lot, so they left a lot of points on the board. So kind of tough. But I know with just everyone on the Cowboys like that, those are just things that were just falling. Just those things where the dogs like looked good, and then all of a sudden, and even like Washington, dog were looking great, and then the Chiefs remembered, oh, we're the Chiefs, we can do this, and then they didn't just cover, they won by 18 or something along those lines. I don't know if it was 18. Whoops. But they won big 31-13. I think the final score was on that. Don't have that right in front of me, but, is what it is. They won big. Man. All right. Let's get to a little college weekend recap before I kind of a big thing. I was talking last week. It's chaos. Iowa being number 2. I loved Iowa being at 2. Just I don't think they were second best team in the country, but I loved seeing Iowa at +2, or not +2. Betting talk at number 2, just because that's funky. Chaos in college is awesome. Love that. Oh man, tweets are coming through. Okay. Yeah, so love that. But now I don't know if there's gonna be that much chaos. Georgia's gonna be one. Georgia's gonna continue to be number one. I did not take the bait. I did not bet Georgia with that huge number. I thought about they could have done it. Stayed away. Shout out me. One of my few kind of moral victories that does not affect my bankroll one bit, but I'm gonna take the wins I can get. And man, so Cincy could still cause some chaos, which I'm really hoping Cincy can keep doing what they're doing, just keep beating up on teams. I'll get to them a little bit later when we get to a little look ahead towards the next weekend. But yeah, I really hope that really hope they just keep destroying these teams. Have a pretty solid matchup this next week. It's a pretty good team, but I mean, Bama's probably going to end up making it. Ohio State. Ohio State's definitely going to make it now. Like Iowa, maybe had a chance making the Big Ten championship, but they probably would have gotten walloped by Ohio State anyways. Doesn't truly matter, I guess. But yeah, I feel like with Iowa getting destroyed by Purdue, it's just the chaos doesn't seem quite as much. Yeah, I don't think a Pac-12 team gets in. Oregon might win out and maybe has a chance, but that's going to be tough. Yeah, I mean, since he's really the only kind of chaos left, really. Yeah, because I mean, Utah is the new favorite to win the Pac-12, and they already have 2 losses. So that a 2-loss Pac-12 team's not getting in the 14 playoff. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of a shame. Kind of a shame. I like the chaos. In college, like I said at the top of the show, 4-5 again. So back-to-back 4-5 weeks. Not ideal. We'll kind of run through just a couple of my plays. Let's see. Some of my bad ones. Oh, I did go 2-1 on Friday though. That was pretty nice. So evened out. 6-6 again. Is what it is. Syracuse frauds, or not Syracuse. Clemson is the fraud. Syracuse plus 13.5 was awesome. Marshall minus 11 smacked. Oregon minus 13.5. That was kind of tough. Rutgers. I'm done. I believed in Rutgers. Loved Rutgers. Nope, no more. That line movement was crazy. It's funny doing the show on Monday. Like, obviously, we know lines change. You got to keep an eye on them. But it's just funky because there were a couple of these games that I didn't necessarily keep the best eye on. Monday to Wednesday, not a ton of line movement. And after Wednesday, wasn't looking completely at them like as much as I, normally do. And all of a sudden, the movement was ridiculous. Rutgers was +1. Then I got them closing value -2.5. So just there were a couple of them. Tulsa -8. Still won the game. Turns out USF isn't absolutely terrible. Like I said, Cincy 56-21. Cincy -21.5 smacked. That was awesome. They're just destroying teams like they need to. Michigan State. Shout out my girlfriend, the Hope play of the day. It hit. She's 1-0 in college. Michigan State -4. Western Kentucky -13.5. That smacked. And then, yeah, Virginia Tech, Tennessee. Boston College was one that I really loved. But that was not ideal. And then UCLA +1.5. That felt super easy. That was awesome. There's no way they were going to lose to Washington. UCLA was not going to lose. So yeah, 4-5. And again, 1-5 in the NFL. I really, because of how cold I am, I really, I need to kind of take a deep breath, just take a refresher, take a day or two. But of course, it's the Titans on Monday night. I can't not do this. So we're lessening the plays a little bit, but need a breather, a little cooler. Nothing wrong with that. So I know NBA starting tomorrow. Not going to be talking a whole lot about that today. We'll kind of see. I do dabble with some NBA. We'll get to that at another time. Once we kind of get more into it, focus is still on football. Same with playoff baseball. I'll be watching, but football is where the focus is at right now. That's where the money is. That's where I've had some success in college and NFL. We'll get there, and so Would love to, take Tuesday and Wednesday off before Thursday night football, but kind of little look ahead to the look ahead segment. We'll kind of, a little sneak peek here, little look ahead to the look ahead. That should be a segment title. I'm definitely going to add that. Look ahead to the look ahead. Coastal App State. That's Wednesday night. That sounds like a kind of nice game. Right now, it's -3.5 for Coastal. That sounds like a smash. App State did me dirty last Thursday, so I guess I went 6-7. I forgot about the Thursday game, but yeah. So just gonna kind of chill and relax. But that Coastal game, that's gonna be pretty interesting. I kind of like that one a lot. So we'll get into some Monday night action. We're here. Titans, Bills, inactives just came out, just released. Seeing them now. Titans inactives. This is great for the man whose jersey I'm wearing, Julio Jones. Titans inactives, Josh Reynolds, Mackie Sargent, the backup running back, John Simon, backup linebacker, and Monty Rice, another backup linebacker. So Titans inactives, not too many. A.J. Brown will play. He's been questionable with an illness all week. So we'll see. If he's able to, how much he's able to play. That'll be pretty big. But let's check out the Bills inactives. Yep, A.J. Brown, Matt Breida, Tommy Doyle, A.J. Epinesa, Boogie Basham, and Vernon Butler are all inactive for the Bills. This is going to be a game. This is one of those. Everything I've seen points to the Bills. Everything. The amount of stats I've seen on Twitter today has been ridiculous. Josh Allen against the spread in primetime games, like 6-0. The Bills against the spread have been they've covered the last maybe four or five. Don't remember the last ones they've not much they covered, but they're covering by over 18 points. Because they were +3 last week, won by 18, -17.5. A huge spread against the Texans, 140-0. The Dolphins, don't remember that spread off the top of my head. I think it was a little bit of a smaller one. I'm completely blanking on that. That was week 2. That was like 35-0. I think I think after losing to Pittsburgh, I think they've covered every time, and it's just been by ridiculous amounts. It hasn't been the typical Vegas, this is the line, and they're going to be right around there. No. Absolutely smashing teams. Easily the hottest team. Like I said, hottest team, best team. All respect to the Cardinals. They're right up there, but the Bills have just been crazy. That week 1 game against the Steelers, just one of those kind of fluky week 1 games that we see every year. The Jaguars beat the Colts week 1. Obviously that's a much bigger scale because we see the Steelers, although sometimes they look bad, they're still not a bad team. They're still not a terrible team. So yeah, everything I'm seeing, every single thing is to the Bills. That seems so easy. The Titans beat the Bills last year, so the Bills are going to come hungry. Everything, all the stats I'm seeing, everything emotionally I'm seeing, and that's why I'm going Titans. Titans +6. Maybe I just cursed it because I'm so cold. Yep. Oh, there it is. I was kind of wondering about that. I just got an update from Jonathan Jones. Titans wide receiver A.J. Brown is active tonight, but he'll likely be on a snap count. That's kind of what I was thinking, which I'll kind of get into my plays as I'm kind of doing. But like I said, could have just jinxed myself, could have been whatever, could have just added to the sadness. We don't know, but I can't bet on the Bills. Going into the week, it was Bills -3.5. The opening line was. I was like, the Bills are going to clobber this team now. It's moved a little bit. Got it. Titans +6. Locked it in. It's just one of those ones. Everything's pointing to the Bills. And just, I got to go Titans. Home dogs on primetime have been covering like crazy even last Thursday. And I have not been like the Colts Ravens on Sunday night or Monday night. Whatever. Days run together. It's brutal. I'm struggling. Oh, like I said, it's been a long weekend. A lot of sadness. like I said, Sad Boy Hours playlist has been booming on me. So got them. Had to sprinkle the money line plus 205. Just a little sprinkle. Just that was more of an emotional play, which is always good, especially when you're vulnerable. How I'm acting right now. You're that's always what you want to do. So yeah, feel free, fade me, do whatever. But had to ride with the Titans, and then I have one prop bet that is just solo, and then I have a same game parlay that I like a lot. Should have added this to the same game parlay, but it is what it is. Tannehill over 16.5 rushing yards. Absolutely love that play. He's been running a lot. And this is going to be kind of one of those games. He's going to be out moving around. He can hit 17 yards in one rush, in two rushes, just the way Tannehill does. And the thing with Tannehill, he doesn't like to slide. Like, not in a bad way. Like, he will slide. But, like, he's always looked like if he can make a cut to the inside and, like, get another few yards, he's going to do it. So he could easily have, like, a 14-yard rush that a lot of quarterbacks just kind of slide. But he'll, kind of do a little one of these things and get another, like, 3 yards and boom, you're over. And, I mean, we've always had Tannehill, sneaky athletic, like tinny wheels. Love to see him play. He's going to be running around. Not too long ago, had his, record. I think it was 53 rushing yards he had, his career record. So, yeah, he's going to be running a little bit, likes to run it. Could see him rushing on the ground for a touchdown as well. Didn't add that, but could definitely see this being a Tannehill rushing touchdown day. But, yeah, so my main, my single plays, Titans plus 6, plus 205 on the money line, just a little just a little sprinkle. And then Tannehill with over 16.5 rushing yards. Now the same game parlay. There's three legs. I could have done more, could have added more to it, but just wanted to go 3 legs. Could have done these all individually. I might go back and do that. But same game parlay plus 433. We have Tannehill over 1.5 passing yards. If the Titans are going to keep up with the Bills, they're going to have to throw the ball. He has his wide receivers back. A.J. Brown might be on a snap count, but I took that into consideration with this. Julio Jones has been dominant when he's been on the field. He just has been. We saw it against Seattle in week 2. And then before he got hurt against the Colts, we were starting to see it again. Tannehill trusts Julio. He's going to throw to Julio deep. And then he's always good for, a Ferkser touchdown. Let's see, Michael Pruitt touchdown. Chester Rogers, has been eaten. So he's good for, even Derrick Henry's been getting some passing work, which is just awesome. Love to see that. So, over 1.5 passing touchdowns a lot. I think he hits 2. I don't think that's an issue. He could have that at halftime. A lot of people are on the over. It's a high over-under. Points will be scored, partially because the Titans' defense is not good. So, I mean, even if this is a blowout, garbage time, I think Tannehill hits 2 touchdowns. Zach Moss over 43.5 rushing yards. That's a second leg. Zach Moss has been killing it. He's hit over that number 2 out of the 4 games he's played, coming off a 30-something yard performance last week. Titans' rush defense is not great, but Zach Moss is running well with that backfield as he should. He's been getting some receiving work, so I mean that'll factor into it. But I think he can hit 44 in this game as well, especially if they do take that lead. I'm not playing on it with my Titans plus 6, and hopeful for that bet. I do think that Titans plus 6 is a decent play. That one's not just all the emotion. The money line is the emotion one. Titans plus 6. Still think that the Titans are a good team. The Titans play up to their competition, and they're at home. They're a home dog. 6 points. That's up there. Titans of the last few years, they've just been a team. They play close to bad teams, and they play close to good teams. They'll get blown out maybe once a season. Something that's just embarrassing. Well, they knocked that out week 1. Cardinals got embarrassed. It was fun. So, yeah, like Zach Moss a lot. The rush defense just has not been where it needs to be. The defense as a whole has not been where it needs to be. So, Tannehill over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Zach Moss over 43.5 rush yards. And then the last leg, Julio Jones, anytime touchdown. I talked about it a little bit earlier, talking about Tannehill's passing touchdown prop. Plus 175 is that's what it was. I got plus 175 to add to the plus 433. Pretty solid value, and he hasn't gotten touchdown yet. He should have had that one in Seattle. That was an abysmal. Like, I'm still speechless. Like, I felt sick to my stomach after that. That was unbelievable. Whatever. Still won the game. Doesn't matter. Tannehill's going to be throwing the ball. The offense is going to have to be moving. And he trusts Julio. Like, his stats might not show it yet because, he's been hurt. He hasn't played a whole lot. Week 1 was just kind of a weird week. But you really saw it come together week 2. And then week 3, you saw the exact same thing as you did in week 2. But then, he got hurt and just kind of limped off because, you trade for Julio. You're not going to risk anything. If he gets a little banged up, it's the right thing to, kind of chill a little bit. Just, take this off, take this half off, especially since we still end up beating the Colts there. So, man, yep. It is something. But yeah, so that is Tannehill over 1.5 passing yards. That'd be a hell of a bet. Over 1.5 passing yards. Book it. Slam it. Absolute lock. Over 1.5 passing touchdown. Over Zach Moss over 43 rushing yards. And Julio Jones anytime touchdown for a same game parlay of plus 433. Feel good about it. I do. I don't feel like amazing about it. I don't feel like, okay, this is an absolute lock. So that I feel a good amount of confidence with it. Not too much, but not too little. So hoping that can hit. That would be huge for the morale, huge for the confidence. And then the single plays plus 6 money line. And yeah, Tannehill over 16.5 rush yards. Like I said, could have added to the parlay, but want to keep same game parlay. Just want to keep it 3 legs for now, since I didn't do a money line. Because Titans money line, that would have been tough. I like the favorite money lines, add just that little bit of a booster to the odds. Like could have done Bills money line, but then that conflicts with everything. So wasn't going to do that. But let's get into the official look ahead now. Yes, I had a lot less plays. Like I said, try to chill a little bit. We're cooling things off. We're going to get this. Let's just do a little look ahead. I'll just talk about some of the games I think are kind of interesting in college. And Wake Forest minus 3.5 against Army. Army's a good team. And when I said since he's playing a good Navy's not bad, but for some reason I had Army and Navy mixed up. Please don't get mad at me. I apologize. That's why I thought since it was Cincy versus Army, and that would have been a pretty good team because Army's looked great. Army looks like a good team, but I'm kind of leaning Wake Forest minus 3.5. I just think they're a little bit more battle tested on the field, on the football field, I should say. Battle tested is not the best words I could say for a team that's versing Army. Shout out to the troops, you guys are goated. Really appreciate all that you guys are doing, but man, still lean Wake Forest though. All that aside, wow, battle tested. Shouldn't have said that. But leaning Wake Forest, just I like them a lot. They're 6-0. They have been the best against the spread. I think they're 2-4 against the spread right now. But I think they're just a good team, and I think they can win by over a field goal on this. So they've won against some not so great teams. Close. Beat Louisville close, beat Florida State close. But yeah, so Cincy minus 27.5 against Navy, I like a lot. They're just going to keep smacking these teams. Just keep smacking. Kind of like what I said with Georgia a couple weeks ago, where you're almost at the point where you just bet them against the spread because they're that good. Vegas called my bluff, and I saw Kentucky 23.5, and I stayed away. Probably would have ended up betting Kentucky, ended up covering. Good for them. That's a big win for Kentucky. Good teams win, great teams cover. And I think since he's a great team, I think they're going to keep covering, keep smashing these teams like they need to. I think, yeah, winning by 28 is very doable. Because, yeah, Navy, if they get down big, that can backfire quick with them having to throw the ball. So that can get ugly very quick, just with the way Navy plays offense. So UCLA, Oregon. This game's kind of interesting to me. I don't have a initial lean. Uh, UCLA is -2.5 against Oregon, and I'm not sure how I feel on this one yet. Oregon is not as good on the road as they are at home, and Oregon is on the road in this game. UCLA just beat and covered for me against Washington, but Washington's not that great of a team. They only won by a touchdown. Oregon just won over a touchdown by Cal. You know, I think Oregon wins this game, even though this was kind of a tricky one. And it's an early game. It's a much earlier game than we're accustomed to on the West Coast. Man, this one's gonna be interesting. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, just because it's a big game or an interesting game does not mean you have to bet on it. I know that, but I want to. Responsibly, of course. And that might be one of them that I just end up having to stay away. But I guess my initial lean's kind of Oregon, but this seems like the line kind of, it's like UCLA, like they're the home team. That, like, it's kind of a pick. I'm like, give them 3 points for the home team. I don't know, man. That was just kind of fun. Had to bring that up for sure. Oklahoma State +7 against Iowa State. I like Oklahoma State a lot in that. Just covered and played well against Texas. Oklahoma State is one of those teams no one, like myself included, they just keep winning, keep playing well, but just not getting the respect they need. And Iowa State, I don't know what they did to be favored by 7. I know they're home. I know Iowa State is a good program, but I mean, Oklahoma State, I think +7 is a smash play. Getting back to Boston College, they did me dirty last week. That was one of my favorite plays of the weekend was BC +3 against NC State at home. I kind of like them again against Louisville +6. I feel like that's a lot of points for Louisville. I know Louisville's been playing teams a little bit tougher now. They're not quite as bad as we kind of the first couple weeks showed. But kind of like BC, Liberty -21.5. I know I need to get like that as well. I do talk about all the same college teams. I do, but my college record's good, and so we're gonna stick with what's working. But like UTSA, speaking of that, -7 against La Tech. I'm surprised that number is kind of that low. I bet I can see that getting up to like -10, -9 later in the week. So we'll see. Another game. This one I'm really excited to watch. Nevada is +3 versus Fresno State. These are two awesome teams that have a lot of NFL prospects that have a lot that have played well. Nevada's +3, but that's another one I don't know what I'm going to do. That +3, like the 2.5 to 3, it's getting tricky. But lucky for me, it's only Monday, so I don't have to give out any official plays yet. No, that'll be for later. Yeah, be sure to follow at Betting Rocks Pod to see those plays. Whenever, of course, I do shoot those. Utah -3 against Oregon State. Utah is just a different team with Cam Rising. They looked good last year against USC, that first few drives. And Cam Rising has been around for a while. He's a big locker room guy, very athletic, very talented, and they're just rallying around him. Coach Whittingham's a great coach. I think them being -3 to Oregon State is insane. Maybe it's too easy, but like Utah -3, I don't know. I'm in my head again because, like I said, you should probably be fading me right now because I'm all over the place. But the squares have been hitting. The favorites have been hitting these past couple weeks. So I don't know. So Utah -3, I'll probably just book it. USC +7. Speaking of a team that Utah demolished a couple weeks ago, still like them +7 against Notre Dame. Like I'm still not sold Notre Dame, but kind of like USC a little bit. TCU minus 4.5. Just think they're the much better team. Much better team. Think they take it to West Virginia. Shout out GTD. Started at TCU. Then Georgia Tech +7 against Virginia. Like that. Like that a lot actually. I think Virginia being 7-point favorites is kind of interesting. At the ACC, those middle teams like the Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, Virginia, uh, NC State. Like I feel like they're all just so close. Whereas like they can just win. Any team can win. That's like in that tier. So you get +7 with one of those teams. I like that a lot. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of the ACC, NC State -3 against Miami. Same point. NC State's one of those teams -3. Let's get into some of these NFL opening lines. Just I'll burn through them real quick. These are on from the lines at betonline.ag. The Thursday night game, Denver at Cleveland. Cleveland opens as a -5.5 favorite. Leaning Cleveland there. They're the home team. I know there's a lot of injuries. Chubb might be back. He might. Kareem Hunt will not be. Baker's going to be questionable. But the Broncos, man, coming into Cleveland, I don't see that. I don't see them putting up much of a fight. We'll see. Hopefully that line stays, 5.5 and smaller. Hopefully it doesn't keep growing and be like 6.5, 7.5. Baltimore -6 against Cincy. Baltimore has been destroying teams, but Cincy has looked good. This is a divisional game. Cincy's defense is much better than we thought, or at least than I thought. So yeah, I kind of initially thought kind of like Cincy +6, but this is something I'm going to be doing moving forward too. I've been betting too many games just to have action in these games, just to have these. So going to have a lot less plays, put a lot more attention, just do some of my favorite plays, not just picking like 6-7 games just because. So yeah, can't have that, but still going to talk about my kind of leans and kind of some thoughts. Carolina against the Giants +2.5. Giants are +2.5 hosting Carolina Panthers. I think Kadarius Toney, his status is going to play a huge factor in this. Kind of like the Panthers. I know it's hard. Kind of like the Panthers in this. Tough for them to be a road favorite, but that's kind of my initial thought. Green Bay -10 against Washington. Yeah. Just probably, yeah. Washington's defense was going on, man. KC -4 at Tennessee. We'll kind of see more tonight, but that seems like a Kansas City smash. -4. You saw it. The whole first half, even 3 quarters in, maybe. Probably not quite the full 3 quarters, but no, it was close. Washington was covering. Washington was leading. They just turn on a switch and to win by 4 against a defense. That's going to be high scoring. Can't wait to see that over under. That's going to be, I don't even know, 56.5, 57.5. Whew. Atlanta, Miami, pick'em. Really like the Falcons. It's scary. Really like the Falcons. And it's at Miami, but what's going on with Miami? They were supposed to be good. Brian Flores has been a hell of a coach since he's been in the NFL, not just being a head coach. It's been awesome, but the Dolphins, I don't know if he's lost it. Like, I just don't know what's going on there. That's such a surprise. They just lost to the Jaguars. But I bet that one's going to move because I bet a lot of people are going to go on to the Falcons. Patriots -6.5 hosting the New York Jets. That seems about right. Kind of interesting. I didn't realize the Patriots are going to be playing the Jets this quick, but could be a good mental health. Good for the Patriots' mental health, and good for them to really beat up on the Jets again. After losing that heartbreaker against Dallas, they're back home, so they don't have to go anywhere. This is what I said: not betting Detroit. This is definitely a stay away game because 14.5 is a lot of points, but not betting Detroit. Not doing it. Kind of want to, but not going to do it. I'm staying strong. Rams -14.5 favorites. Eagles and Vegas. Vegas -3 against the Eagles. Got to go Vegas. Got to keep riding the interim head coach. I did not do that last week. I felt Broncos. And yeah, did not feel great about that. So like the Raiders a lot. Eagles, sneaky cover. Although also I can't bet the Eagles. I really cannot. No, I can't do it. I'm not betting in this game. Nope. Dating back to last year, Doug Peterson, the amount of him going for two, him throwing that Hail Mary to what's his face? Richard Rodgers. Yeah, in the end zone. Back to back covers, bet on the Saints -8 against the Eagles. That was Jalen Hurts' first start. He comes out, does his thing. And then last week, Bucks -6.5. They come out, go for two. I understand, you go for two, you do it. But of course, they make it, hit it, and then Bucks move down the field and decide to just knee. So, nope, I'm done. I'm done with the Eagles. Good luck to the Raiders. I hope you destroy them. But nope, I'm done. I can't do it. Cannot do it. There are a lot of big spreads, or maybe not a lot, but some bigger spreads. Arizona -16 against Houston. You can't pick Houston. You just can't. The Arizona defense has been awesome. Vance Joseph has done a hell of a job. And yeah, you just can't do that. Yeah, I mean there's not a whole lot to say. I bet on Houston. I believe in them. Lost 31-3 to the Colts. You just can't do that. Like that, Davis Mills just throwing pick after pick, and Texans are getting back to who we thought they were. They start off season, covering real well, looking competent because they do have a lot of veteran players, like a lot of like decently talented players. They just don't have, don't have the top end talent. So yeah, Arizona, that's a huge number, but I mean, almost have to. It was a big number when they played Buffalo and they won 40-0. This should be a good game. Niners Colts. Niners are hosting Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football +3.5. Or my bad. Niners are -4.5. I was getting ahead of myself. -4.5. Leading Niners. I still don't believe in the Colts. I'm wearing a Titans jersey. You can say that I'm biased. I don't know. I don't care. Niners fresh off the bye. It looks like Jimmy G's going to be playing, so I like the Niners offense a little bit more. I love Trey Lance moving forward. I have him stashed in a few fantasy leagues. Have him as my dynasty quarterback. Haven't been playing him, but drafted him this year in my rookie draft. Love Trey Lance. The offense right now is better with Jimmy G. 100% better with Jimmy G. And then yeah, New Orleans at Seattle. Seattle's +3.5. And the Saints, I think. Leading Saints -3.5. That's tough. I have to buy the hook on that with 3. I hate 3.5s. College is not as bad, but NFL, I hate 3.5s. And then also Bucks. This wasn't listed in there, but yeah, Bucks -12.5 against Chicago, and that's another bigger spread. Maybe Chicago. Maybe. Just maybe. But yeah, so lot of craziness again this weekend, a lot of sadness, but that's what we do. That's it is what it is. That's betting for you. So that is that'll do it for this show. Looking forward to feeling good about this Monday night. Need to I need it. To be selfish. Need it. Titans need it. Especially with the Colts getting that win. Because they'll be within one game. We do have the tiebreaker with them, but we'll be playing again. And it's never easy to beat the Colts twice in a season. Now, in a lesson, we've done that. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. But yeah, feeling good. Titans +6, Titans money line, Tannehill over rushing yards, and then that same game parlay, baby. Tannehill with over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Zach Moss over 43.5 rushing yards, and of course, Julio anytime touchdown. Just a nice little 3-legger. Try and keep it smaller. Like it a lot though. And yeah, be sure once again follow at ZachRieger18 at Betting Rocks Pod on Twitter. I'll be tweeting out my official plays here shortly. And yeah, follow at GTD_sports as well. GTD Sports Network is awesome. You guys will not be disappointed. They're growing like crazy. A lot of podcasts, a lot of blogs. They're blogging every day. Pretty much. It's awesome. Just a lot of fun stuff going on there. So be sure to check them out as well. And that will do it. Best of luck to you guys with your bets. Hope you guys had a better weekend than me. I'm sure you guys probably all did. But cheers, and let's do it.